Hello, good evening, everybody. How are you doing? Fine.
Hi, Assalamu alaikum, dear teacher and dear classmates. Hope all of you be fine and healthy. We are doing great, teacher. How about you?
Thank you very much. It's so fine. So, based on our schedule, we're supposed to go on with the writing section. The Some of the transition signals that we have covered, and some of them remained from the last session we have discussed on coherence. Overall, the uh, connection and the smooth connection between ideas that could be logically flowing through a text. So, what we had as the coherence itself. So, we discussed how to bring coherence, some of the ways. I'll just give it a review and then we'll go ahead with the next part of that one. With the coherence itself, we have mentioned that it is the logical and smooth flow of ideas in a certain text. And then we discussed how to bring coherence. One of the ways uh, was to repeat key nouns inside our writing. So the example is given. For example, we have students. So we will repeat it throughout our text. Then the second way to bring coherence is using pronoun substitutes consistently. So if you have a key noun, the next line and the next turn, we will use a pronoun instead of it. Then repeat the process again and again. And the third way to bring coherence is using transition signals. Then we mentioned what is transition signal. It work as transporting, like a transporting machine that we have. It works like that. It connects two ideas to each other. So idea A first, for example, we have, and we want to connect it to idea B. We need transition signal to connect these two. Now, transition signals had three main categories. The first one was conjunctions, and then we mentioned that conjunctions are in three um, divisions. Coordinating conjunctions, which were fun boys, and we discussed each of them, what was their function, and subordinating conjunction, which is the third type, and lastly, the third type was correlative conjunction or paired conjunction. Both and, either or, neither nor, not only, but also. So these were the correlative conjunctions that uh, we may use to connect ideas, to connect two sentences to each other inside a paragraph or essay. So, in tonight's session, we will cover conjunctive adverbs. What are conjunctive adverbs and how to use them to connect two different ideas, or how to use them in order to connect them. So use them to connect different paragraphs, especially. So that's what we discuss tonight. So before going to that, who can tell me what is a conjunctive adverb itself? Miss Sahar?
First of all, hello to everyone. So then, what is a conjunctive adverb? A conjunctive adverb is a word that connects two independent clauses and shows the relation between them, such as contrast, result, or addition. It is different from fanboys because it needs a special
punctuation, right?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Miss Farishta.
Okay, teacher, actually, I agree with our classmates, Mrs. Sahar. I think conjunction adverb, connect two independent clauses to each other, as Mrs. Sahar mentioned. And also, we can use it at the end of sentences and also at the first of sentences, no matter. And also, we can use it, among of sentences too. But remember, when we use it among of sentences, on that time we should use comma.
Okay, great. So let's cover them and talk one by one each of the conjunctive adverb that can help us go ahead well with a relationship between ideas. As you have mentioned, conjunctive adverbs. So let me write here. Conjunctive adverbs or adverb, they're words, or often we may have phrases as well. Phrases that connect two independent clauses. There should not be dependent. Independent clauses, or simply we can also call two complete sentences, and it doesn't change anything, or it doesn't change the meaning of the clause. It connects the two sentences and shows the relationship between them. So, and shows the relationship between them. So we have this one as conjunctive adverbs. Now, these relationships, we may have different types of relationships. So these relationships could be a cause relationship. It could be cause. It could be result, contrast. Okay, so especially if you have a cause and effect, if I write here, cause and effect. We may have contrast relationship. We may have addition relationship. We may have sequence relationship. We may have example relationship. We may have, beside that one, sometimes we have, so addition, did I write? Yeah, so most important ones, condition as well. So these are the 5 most important relationships we have for the conjunctive adverbs. Let's start with the first one. If it expresses cause and effect. Cause and effect. Consider we have the first sentence here, the first sentence, then we put dot, it's punctuation, put dot. So let me write in a separate case here. The punctuation, if you have punctuation, so punctuation of conjunctive adverbs. We have the first sentence, then we use dot, we will use conjunctive adverb. Conjunctive adverb. After that, we put comma, then we have the next sentence. So it is sentence A, and then we have sentence B. So in this case, we can use our conjunctive adverb. Or we may have our first sentence, then we have a semicolon, we have first idea. Then in this case, we don't capitalize the first one, conjunctive adverb, then comma, then the next sentence. The next sentence, and we put dot. So it is the next way. We may have our first sentence. We may have our first sentence, sentence A. We may put dot, or we may put semicolon, and then we go ahead with the subject of the sentence. Then we put comma here. Then we may use conjunctive adverb. So I will write here conjunctive adverb, CA. Again, comma, then the next sentence, sentence B. We can use in this punctuation rule as well. So this is the third way to punctuate. We have it here. The fourth way to punctuate conjunctive adverbs, we have idea A. Idea A is written. We can use dot or we can use semicolon, no problem. We may have the sentence, the complete sentence, and then we may use dot, comma, then we have conjunctive adverb, conjunctive adverb. This is the third way we can use to connect the two ideas, idea A and idea B. This is how we can go ahead with punctuation. Punctuation of conjunctive adverbs. It's especially important in writing section. When we are writing to connect two sentences, we have to always be careful on how to punctuate. Punctuation, capitalization, they're important subjects in the new TOEFL writing section, although it was important in the previous versions as well, but right now it's more important because we have less number of words. So these tasks are, or these issues are very important. Let's see, I will use a sentence first without connecting them. I will write a sentence. The sentence may be discussing, for example, if I say she studied very hard, if you have the sentence. She studied very hard. That's the first sentence. And then we have she passed the exam. So it is a simple sentence. But do we have any clear connection between the sentence A and sentence B? We don't have any specific connection between the two sentences, sentence A and sentence B. So there are two simple sentences or complete ideas, but we don't have any connection. So it seems that when we have the idea A, she studied very hard, and then we have she passed the exam, we can use this relationship. We say she studied very hard, then we can use dot if I go on with the first rule of punctuation. Then I can use a conjunctive adverb. For example, the second sentence is the result of the first sentence. I may use therefore shows result. So therefore, and then we can say she passed the exam. It's clearly significant here. So we have our first sentence and the second sentence, and the two are connected using a conjunctive adverb and a comma after that. It is the first rule. If I change it to the second one, again, we can say she studied very hard, semicolon, then conjunctive adverb, therefore, comma, and then we can say she passed the exam. So again, we have semicolon here and then the second sentence. The only difference comes here is that we do not capitalize T. Here, T is not capitalized. It is a compound sentence. We can say, again, another way, the third method for punctuation. So she studied very hard. And then we put dot, then the subject was she, right? Then put comma, then we say therefore, again comma, passed the exam. She therefore passed the exam. Here, this punctuation rule is also very common in academic writings. We put the conjunctive adverb between two commas. Or we may say she studied very hard, and then we put dot, then the second sentence, she passed the exam, comma, and then we write therefore. Therefore is used at the end of the sentence. So this is how we punctuate or use punctuation rules with the conjunctive adverbs. So now let's go on with each of these relationships using conjunctive adverbs. Conjunctive adverbs, as we have mentioned, they can connect two complete ideas or two complete sentences. If it's ideas, if it's idea, it might go on with connecting paragraphs. So we'll name some of them. If you have cause and effect relationship, we may start with, for example, cause and effect. Let's see, with cause and effect. We have, first of all, thereby, therefore. So I'll write here, therefore, for example. We may put comma after that. We may have thereby, thereby. We may have thus itself. We may have consequently, consequently. We may have, for example, accordingly, accordingly. It's also used. We may have hence. These are the conjunctive adverbs that they can express effects or the result of a cause, as we have used here with therefore, the sentence. She studied very hard and the result was that she passed the exam. A good example, let's say I will have a sentence. Think I may write here for example, roads. The roads were crowded, and then I can use dot, I can use semicolon. So therefore, or consequently, accordingly, hence is very academic. So therefore, we somehow we drove to another street. So we have, for example, the main road. Let me add here, the main roads were crowded. Therefore, we drove to another street. It shows that the second clause is the result of the first clause. It is the result of this clause here. So this is what we have for cause and effect. I'll write one sentence for each of them, and I think it would be enough. If we have for contrast, to show contrast in a sentence, we may use some specific conjunctive adverbs as well. So if I have contrast, we may use the word however, we may use the word nevertheless, nevertheless. We may use nonetheless, nonetheless, it's the next one. Yeah, these are the contrast conjunctive adverbs. Actually, we have other ones as well. They're the most common one we have, for example, on the other hand, on the other hand, on the other hand. We may have in contrast, in contrast, contrast. So these are the most common of them that we can use. Conjunctive adverbs that they can express contrast. Contrast, nevertheless, nonetheless, on the other hand, in contrast, however, often, conversely. So there are the words. Now, a sentence, what do we mean by contrast here? Contrast simply means opposition. Two ideas are opposite of one another. Think if we have a sentence, he was really intelligent. He was really intelligent, and then we can use semicolon, we can use dot, and then we have, for example, however, he felt, for example, he felt the final semester. He was really intelligent. However, he felt the final semester. And he couldn't succeed. Or similarly, we can have other examples regarding to that one. It is a contrast. You know, when someone is really intelligent, you expect them to pass successfully, right? But if it is contrast, we can use however. Instead of however, I can also use nevertheless, I can use nonetheless, or on the other hand, and so on. So who can tell a sentence using contrast? Yep. Miss Latifa.
Okay, teacher. The outside was rainy.
Outside.
Nonetheless, outside, yeah.
Mhm.
The outside was rainy. Nonetheless, they went to swimming.
Yeah. Nonetheless, they went swimming. Very good. Miss finish that.
Okay, teacher. For example, using technology has its own advantage. On other hand, it has its disadvantage.
Technology has several advantages. On the other hand, it has some disadvantages. Okay, Miss Zainul Arab.
Yes, teacher. Today was late. However, the time was changed.
Is that contrast?
Yes.
So today was late. What do you contrast here?
Today our class was late.
Today
Our class was late.
our class was
late.
late.
However, the time was changed.
So here, what do you contrast?
However,
No.
and
Which ideas are contrasted? It is not contrast. It is not opposite.
oh, I have to say the opposite of this.
Yeah, because it's contrast.
Yeah, this is synonym. Yes, teacher, you're right. Let's say, late. I waked up early. However, I waked up early. Is it good?
No, because so here we don't have any contrasting point. We say today our class was late. However, for example, we wait, for example, we finished the lessons. When for example we are late in the class, so it is expected that we won't be able to finish. So it has happened. It means we finished it on time.
Okay, thank you.
Miss Sahar.
Okay, for example, the task was difficult, nevertheless, they completed it.
The task was difficult.
Yes. Nevertheless.
Yeah, nevertheless, they completed.
They completed it.
They completed it on time. Let's.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So that's what we have as contrast conjunctive adverbs. The next is, addition. Addition is the next word or the next type of contrast that we might have for our connection in sentences and ideas. We may have, for example, furthermore, we may say in addition, moreover. So let's see, moreover, in addition, that's the next word. Additionally is the next transition. We have also, it's the next one, or we might use the word besides. Okay, so these are the transitions. Let's get into examples. think I may say the course is with reasonable fee, for example, reasonable fee, and then it can say furthermore or moreover. Furthermore, it is very useful. It means you are adding the information to the next point. It's very useful. Or if you have similar ideas regarding to the addition, I can say, so for example, the hotel. The hotel is very comfortable. And then I can say in addition, or furthermore, in addition, it is affordable. Affordable means you can afford it to have it. Or if you say, for example, the project was expensive, and then we can put comma, we can use transition signal. Additionally, it requires a lot of time, for example. It requires a lot of time. This is addition. Addition simply means that another similar idea is going to be added. So they're transition signals, conjunctive adverbs. So who can tell a sentence using another? So who raised hand? Yes, Miss Ferishta.
Okay, teacher. For example, I want to talk with you tomorrow, additionally with your family as well.
So the second part is not a complete sentence. I want to talk to you tomorrow. So here we have the first sentence. Additionally, what's the next sentence?
Additionally with your family as well. So as you mentioned, it's not complete sentence. Let me change it. Additionally, I come in your home too. Is it okay?
Yeah, I'll come to your home.
As well.
For example, to visit the family, like this. So these are the ideas. Miss Sahar. Miss Sahar Mohammadi.
Okay, for example, he speaks English well. Besides, he can speak French.
He speaks English, for example, fluently. Besides, he knows. He knows which language? French. Very good. Miss Bilqis.
Okay, teacher. So I will say with moreover, she is very talented. Moreover, she works very hard.
Moreover, she works very hard. Very good.
Moreover, yeah, okay.
Thank you. Miss Sumaya.
Okay, teacher. The food was delicious. Moreover, it was expensive.
The food was delicious. Then we can put, moreover, it was expensive. Very good. Miss Zainul Arab.
Yes, teacher. Our TOEFL class is hard. Also, we don't have enough time for practice.
Our TOEFL class is very hard.
Very hard.
So
we don't have enough time.
We don't have enough time for example, practice. Yeah, that's right. Miss Shirin Gul.
Thank you so much, teacher, to give me a chance. The first hello, good evening to all. So today was the Women's Day. Besides, no one tell me Happy Women's Day, so
So
unfortunately.
that's contrast. That's contrast. At least you had to congratulate the Women's Day to each other.
So in additionally, I want to say a Happy Women's Day to all girls who are in here, sir.
Uh-huh. So it is result you can have. Very good. So,
Another sentence, sir.
okay.
Yesterday I was really busy. Besides, I was sick, sir.
Okay, yesterday I was busy.
Busy. Besides, I was really sick, sir.
I didn't feel well.
Okay.
Miss Latifa.
Okay, sir. She studies online classes. Yeah, she studies online classes. Besides, she reads many motivational books.
She reads many motivational books. Yep, that's what we have as addition. Now, if it is sequence, it means a series of actions. If you have a series of events, so we can use these transitions. They can be then, we have, for example, meanwhile, or if you have next, or if you have afterward, after that, it's that one. Or if you have like the word subsequently, it shows sequence. These are the words that you can show sequence. Let's see, for example, she finished her homework. Then I can put semicolon. Then she watched, for example, she watched TV. Easy one. It means first the homework was done, and then we have that sequence of event. Or if I have he was preparing for an international test. Then I can say meanwhile, his test, or his, for example, university final test was ongoing. So two actions are happening at the same sequence of time. Or if you have, for example, we discussed the problem. Then we can use the word. Then we have finally. Finally is again a transition that shows sequence. Finally, we found a solution. That's it. So, your examples. Miss Bilqis.
Okay, teacher. So, with afterward, she got preparation for the TOEFL test. Afterward, she passed the TOEFL successfully.
She got preparation for the TOEFL test. And then we have afterward. Yeah, afterward she passed.
Yeah.
The test.
The test successfully.
Yeah, successfully. Very good example. The next one, second person, Miss Sumaya.
Okay, teacher. We watch a movie. After that, we went to bed.
We watched the movie. Yep. Dot. After that. Excellent. We went to bed. Very good. Miss Notiki.
Okay, teacher. For example, I want to study abroad. Then I want to work in a big organization.
I want to study abroad. Then
Work in a big organization. I want to work
I want to work in a big
organization.
Very good. And one final, Miss Shiringul.
Thank you, teacher. Today we have a program on the university. I was the speaker, so the next was my classmate.
So how? Today we had
A program on our university.
At our university.
I was the speaker, so the next was my classmate.
So the next we don't have.
No, teacher, Mohammed is this. The next one was my classmate, sir.
So here it doesn't show sequence of actions.
We can use the next, sir.
We can say the next one. So here we are referring to the person. We don't refer to the action or the state of being.
Okay. So how can I use, sir?
For example, we can say today we attended the university, for example, university program. Then we congratulate, for example, congratulate. How do you write congratulate? Yeah, this one. Congratulate each other, the Women Day, for example.
Okay.
So one of them. So it is a sequence. If you have this one. The next is examples. Example is the next one. It is considered as conjunctive adverb.
Sorry.
Yep.
Teacher, in the second sentence we have after that, so we can consider both of them as conjunction. I mean, after and that.
Yeah, both of them.
Or just after.
No, we have both of them.
Teacher, in addition part we had besides and beside, and also afterward and afterwards, with this and without this. So
with
what
S.
is the difference?
If we have after, only after. Do you mean after?
No, teacher. Afterwards and afterward. One of them, sometimes they have S, sometimes they don't have S. Like besides. So which one should
Beside, if we have beside, it is preposition. And if you have besides, it is conjunctive adverb. That's the difference.
And after about the afterward, it is also correct. Afterwards and afterwards.
The same thing.
Okay, teacher.
So if you have examples, we have for example, we have for instance. These are conjunctive adverbs that connect to ideas. Who can give an example for this too? Miss Sahar?
Okay. Many students enjoy sports, for example, football and basketball.
Okay, many students enjoy what? Sports?
Sport. Yes.
Okay, for example.
For example, football.
When we use for example, we try to use it with complete sentence. We say for example. I don't mean that's incorrect. That is correct. But when usually we connect ideas, we better use with complete sentences. If you have phrases, instead we use such as or like. They're used for phrases. So for example, they would like to play soccer or basketball. Like that. So, Miss, finish that. Second person.
Okay, teacher. So I make this example just for fun, teacher. It doesn't have any purpose. So there is someone who is heartless. For instance, he didn't congratulate the Women's Day for his students that were all of them girls.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the example. Miss Zainul Arab.
English language has a sorry. English language is so difficult parts.
Difficult.
English language is so difficult. For example, grammar is one of the most difficult part of them.
For example, grammar is one of its sections or one of its parts. Okay, so that's what we have. Conjunctive adverb, for example. And here we have the punctuation for that. The last part is we have some phrases that they can show. Think, for example, I will write some of them. Due to, we may have owing to. We may have because of their prepositions. We may have provided that also means because of. If we have the other transitions to show that, for example, we have to, it is also is, as I mentioned them, or apart from, comparing to is similarly, or similar to, or the same as, or we may have another plus a noun when you say another color, another part, another section, and so on. We may have that one. So there are other phrases, we can somehow build them as well by our own, so they can work as connectors into building the relationship between ideas. So who can make a sentence using one of them? I'll write one of them with owing to. Owing to simply means because of something. I'll write one. It is usually with phrase owing to the circumstances in Afghanistan. The girls, for example, aren't allowed to attend schools. So here we have owing to. Owing to shows the reason why this action happens here. What's that? owing to the circumstances. It means because of the circumstances in Afghanistan, the situation in Afghanistan. So it connects the two ideas, which introduces a cause to an effect. The effect is the girls aren't allowed to attend schools. So who can tell like an example with any of them? Yep. Miss Ferishta.
Okay, teacher. For example, my dear friends, tomorrow I cannot go to shopping due to my own business.
I can't go shopping tomorrow.
With you,
due to my own businesses.
my own business.
Okay, Miss
Yeah.
Miss Bilqis.
Okay, teacher. So children shouldn't use the phone due to it is severe disadvantages.
Yeah, due to its, not it is. Children shouldn't use
Yeah, it's.
phones due to its severe disadvantages. Okay, Miss Sumaya.
Okay, teacher. Everyone was invited apart from me.
So at that time we can use except for me. Everyone was invited. We better use except for me. It means I was not. Miss Latifa.
Okay, teacher. I'm playing piano because of improving my skills.
I'm playing piano because of improving my skills. Miss Sahar.
Okay. The water is too hot to drink.
The water is too hot or hot? Okay.
To drink.
So here, what is the connector?
The water is too hot. Too.
Oh, too is adverb here. It shows the degree of adjective. Hot. How hot? Too hot. It's not connector. So we can add another thing. The water is too hot to drink, and then we can use another word here. For example, we may use compared to the last day. So here, compared to is used as an adverb, as a contrast word here, which shows similarity between them. Okay, so this is what we have as conjunctive adverbs. They're commonly used everywhere. Miss Zainul Arab, your favorite sentence?
Yes, teacher. Piano music is my favorite. Also, I try to learn how to
Play it.
I try to learn. Also, I try to learn academically.
Piano is my favorite.
Piano music is my favorite music. My favorite music. Also, I try to learn academically.
I try to learn it academically. Exactly. So, that's overall with conjunctive adverbs.
Teacher, may you example about provided that, please? Because I really think about it, but I could not make an example about it.
Okay, I should write example for that.
Yeah, teacher.
Okay. For example, the students will be allowed to attend the class. To attend the class, provided that they have their registration bells with themselves. For example, registration bells with themselves. So under what condition they will be allowed to attend the class? Under this condition, provided that shows condition. Means if. So,
Okay, teacher, thank you.
welcome. So this is what we have as the third way to bring coherence. The final way to bring coherence is using the right logical order organization. Logical order organization inside the text, which we have studied some of the text organization on the reading day, if you remember. Comparison, contrast, I'll name them. Comparison, contrast, one of them, contrast organization, chronological organization. We may have it. We may have cause and effect relationship. We may have general to specific organization, or it is also called funnel organization. We may have argumentative organization. We may have opinion. Okay, opinion, that's another important thing. We may have contrast. So contrast is written there. We may have expository or explanatory organization. So they are the types of organizations that we might have. Besides that, we have some other ones, but they're the most important of them. So when we reach out to the kinds of essays, each of them will be one kind of essay, and we will study them if we would have time. So comparison, contrast, chronological, cause or effect, general to specific, and argumentative, opinion, and the final is expository or explanatory. Yeah, these are the ways to bring coherence, and your homework is to do the exercises of the book in Unit 2, all the Unit 2 section. I wish you have done partially, but if you haven't, so do the exercises of the writing book, Unit 2. And the next day, so we'll discuss more on the next topic.